Hello, my fellow adventurers! This is Mloentje. Welcome back to Throne and Liberty. Guys, there is a lot of questions around the actual events that are going on right now, and especially around the Fortune Stone event, the Fortune Calling event. Now, the developers realized that there was a lot of issues, people having questions like, what do I do with my stones? Where do I collect my stones? How many can I get? Like, there's a lot of questions around these, and well, they basically released an entire page with information, and I did the math on how much you actually need to get to the final rewards. But the final rewards, sadly enough, is not a guarantee. Yes, you heard me correctly. So let's take a look how the developers created this event, which is it's nice in some way, but in another way it's like, really, did you really do this? So yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, Fortune Calling event, guys. Fortune beckons May 29th till the June of 11th. We all seen this. You do a bunch of events, right? And at the end you can get golden Archboss weapons, like skins of golden Archboss weapons and an Archboss selection chest. So let's see how this actually works, right? The chance of earning non-guaranteed rewards, here it already begins, non-guaranteed rewards will change based on how many players complete the required number of activities. For example, if 1,000 players reach the threshold for the Nebula boss accessory selection chest. So it is Archboss of tier 2 selection chest that you can get at the final reward, guys. Everyone will have a 5% chance of obtaining it, since only up to 50 of these chests can be awarded. So if 2,000 players actually get to the threshold of 12,000 points, because that is the final threshold, 12,000 points, guys, only 50 will get it. If that will reach the threshold, then boss selection, everyone will have 5% obtaining it, since it's only up to 5 can be awarded. So 5% chance, guys, that you get it if 1,000 people get it. All rewards will be distributed automatically in-game within 2 weeks of the event. So yeah, what can we actually get? What is guaranteed and what is a chance that you might obtain it? Well, growth bundle, including 50 weapon growth stones, armor growth stones, so the accessory, precious skill growth books, rune chance chest, artifact chance chest, 100,000, so 50 times 100,000 weapon mastery seals, and 5 precious chaos rune chests. Everyone that receives 750 fortune stones is guaranteed to receive this reward. 750 is pretty easy, guys. That is definitely not something that should be hard in 2 weeks at all. The Zenus weapon selection chest. Everyone that receives 1,000 fortune stones is guaranteed to receive this reward. So if you get 1,000, everybody will get that. If you get 1,000, you will get that chest, as well as the growth bundle. So there is multiple rewards that you're gonna get, so it definitely is a really, really good catch-up mechanic again for people that still need to work on their gear or are just not there yet. And well, basically they give a lot away. They really do give a lot away. Precious growth fruit bundle. So this food buff grants 200% weapon mastery and Solent for 1 hour. So you get 5 of those. Everybody that gets 1,750 fortune stones is guaranteed to receive this reward. Again, really good catch-up mechanic, guys. If your mastery is still a little bit behind, 200% weapon mastery for an hour, and Solent is really, really nice. Growth bundle, again, 50 weapon growth stones, 50 armor growth stones. Then we got the skill growth books, the rune chance, artifact chance, 100,000 mastery, 5 precious scales chance chest. So the growth bundle is in there twice. But the second one, you need 3,000. Everybody that can get to 3,000 gets this reward. Then we get to trade resonance stones, guys. Out of everyone, and here we go. Now it's when they start lowering the rewards of how many people can get this. Out of everyone that reaches 5,000 fortune stone milestone, 50 randomly chosen players will receive this reward. If you do the effort to get to 5,000, honestly, like any of the thresholds, if you put in the work, and I'll explain in a second, I did the math, like if anyone did this effortlessly, I feel like they should be able to get those trade resonance stones. But yeah, if 50 or less players reach that milestone throughout the event, this reward will be guaranteed. So yeah, they only give it to 50 players, but if it's 50 players or less, then everybody out of the list that will get it basically get it. 5,000 is not that money. There's going to be more than 50 to obtain this easily. If 2,000 players surpass the 5,000 Fortune Stone milestone, all players with at least one Fortune Stone will receive 20 Trait Resonance Stones. So that's actually pretty good. Like, if we have 2,000 players, which is definitely gonna happen, it's not that hard to go to 5,000 in 2 weeks, guys. Like, if you do a little bit of effort, it's not that hard. But everybody's gonna get 20 Trait Resonance Stones. So that's basically one stone on one trait unlocked, right? Non-Archboss weapon selection chest. So a regular weapon selection chest. Select any tier 2 weapon. Out of everyone that reaches 8,000 Fortune Stones, again 50 randomly chosen players will receive this reward. If there is less, then everybody will get this reward that reaches the 8,000. If 1,500 players surpass the 8,000 Fortune Stone milestone, all players with at least one Fortune Stone will receive the wave emote. Like, really? A wave emote while others get a selection chest for a random weapon? I feel like this could be a guarantee for everybody that reaches 8,000. Like, a random chest for a weapon, guys, is not that intrusive. It's not an Archboss weapon. Like, it's not that intrusive to... If you get to 8,000, I feel like everybody should get it. It's that simple. Not a chance on. Like, 8,000 becomes already like on the benchmark of it. It's getting harder. Like, it's getting harder. If 1,500 players surpass the 5,000, all players will get the wave emote. So yeah, not really like, oh, we get a wave emote. It's probably 1,500 players. It's probably gonna happen. 8,000. It is possible, guys. Then we get to Nebula Boss accessory selection chest. Out of everybody that reach 9,000 Fortune Stone milestones, 50 randomly chosen players will get the Nebula Boss accessory selection chest. So that is really, really good. The accessories of Nebula sell for a lot. So if you can actually obtain that chest and select one that sells the best, then basically you're gonna make sure that you can build out your entire build with one piece of equipment that you can sell. So that is freakishly huge, right? Or it might be the one that you're still missing, right? Like, if you have like 3 out of the 4 that you need and you still need that one, it might be in that chest. So yeah, really, really nice. If 1,000 players surpass the 9,000 Fortune Stone milestone, all players with at least one Fortune Stone will receive Free Spirited Genius. I think that's an Amethyst. I'm not really sure, but I think that is an Amethyst that you can get. Then we get to Black Anvil weapons. Out of everybody who reaches 10,000 Fortune Stone milestone. Yes, 10,000, guys. 25, so it's even lower now. 25 chosen players will receive the reward of a Black Anvil weapon. If 25 or less players reach it, a reward will be guaranteed, of course. If 500 players surpass the 10,000 Fortune Stone marker, all players with at least one Fortune Stone will receive 15 Obsidian Fragments. That's not too bad, actually. Like, I can't disagree with that one. The Black Anvil weapons should be actually, like, they're elusive, right? It's a hard farm to do in the game, so I feel like giving 15 is a decent amount. If we get 500 players surpassing the 10,000, of course. And then we come to the end, guys. The Golden Archboss weapon selection chest. So yeah, as you can see here, if you pick a Archboss weapon, you can have it in a golden hue. So that will make you stand out versus all the other players, like, so freakishly much, guys. I know you can dye your gear now, but it's still like it's something to boast at, right? So yeah, any tier 2 weapon from Giant Cordy or the Lulus Noah. The Golden Archboss weapon selection chest includes a tier 2 Archboss weapon of your choice with a golden appearance. Out of everyone that reaches the 12,000 Fortune Stone milestone, only 10 players will receive this reward. If 10 or less players, everybody will get the reward. If 100 players surpass the 12,000 Fortune Stone milestone, all players with at least one Fortune Stone will receive the Fire Crown. And this is pretty cool because this is the Fire Crown, guys. It's basically a mode where you sit down, I think. So that is actually pretty cool. A golden crown to sit on. So if we have 100 players surpassing it, everybody will get this throne. Now we come to the math, guys. How can we actually obtain these? Let's get to the math, guys. Resistance contracts, Fortune Stones trade. There's 10 resistance contracts a day, meaning we can get 30 a day, right? We got go-up dungeons, fortune stones, 1 for 5-star. We get 5-star, we get 1. 2-star, we get 10. 3-star and 4-star, we get 20. So if you do all of your co-ops a day, that's 20 stones per day. Dynamic events, fortune stones, 10. There are 8 dynamic events a day, meaning I'm counting even the ones at after midnight. Like the one at 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock in the morning. Like in total, there are in 24 hours around 8 dynamic events a day. So if you do all of them, basically you can get 80 stones per day, right? There are between 5 and 6 field bosses a day. Now it does say participation 7, field boss dominion 12, field boss guild victory 12 as well. Now, I'm not counting field boss dominion victories and field boss guild victories because it's not a guarantee that you will win that fight, right? So I'm just counting participation. Let's say that you can do 5 out of the day, right? That's 35 stones a day if you do every boss. Amateur expeditions. Well, we have fishing amateur expeditions, guys. You get 2 for every hour that they spend on an expedition. So if we look at the amateur, where is the amateur? We basically got 24 hours in a day. Every hour that they spend is 48 tokens that we can get every day from our amateur. And then we get to the fishing event. So the fishing event says, where is it? A 35% chance, guys. I did the math on how much bait we got, and then 35% out of the amount of bait means 233 in total out of all the bait that we can get. If we do the math on this, that means we can get around 720 every day. If you do everything, if you don't sleep, if you don't go to work, if you do every event, every Archboss, every co-op dungeon, every contract, every amateur, your amateur needs to go on exactly the second that it comes home. It needs to be sent out, else you're a second away and you're gonna miss out on the end of the event of not being able to get 48 every day in 24 hours, right? So if we do 720 times the 14 days that the event is active, that's 1,080, guys, that we can get in total. So it's not even 12,000. If you do everything, if you don't sleep, don't work, do everything, it's 10,000, right? Let's say that we can do half of that. People need to eat, people need to spend time with the family, people need to work. Let's say that we can do half, which is still a lot. 350, it needs to be 360. Why is it 350? Oh, my math is off. But yeah, let's say you can do a little less than half per day. That's 4,900, guys. So 4,900 coins at the end of the event. If you do a little less than half of what you can do in 24 hours. So if we do 12,000, the final marker, right? Minus the 4,900, it's 7,100. Now, here comes the kicker, guys. Solent spent. Fortune stones, 80 for every 5 million spent. Solent spent will be tallied and the players will receive the fortune at the end of the event. Solent spent from purchasing things from NPCs will not count towards your total. So you cannot, well, every gold that you spend on an NPC by crafting gear or upgrade stones or whatever you crafted an NPC, all the cash you spend there, it does not work. Now, Mini came up with a good solution to spend a lot of coins on yourself, and I'll get to that in a second. So yeah, it says for every 80, you get 5 million spent, right? So 7,100 divided by, and that was divided by 80, is basically 88.75, right? If you do that times 5 million, that means 443.75 million, guys. That is the amount you need to spend if you can do a little bit less than everything half a day. So let's say you can do your amateur, you can do your resistance contracts, your co-ops, a couple of dynamic events. So a couple less of these. You can't hit every boss. Your fishing is less lucky than it is. So that's how I kind of count around 350. It's a general number, right? 444 million is what you're gonna need to spend to still get to that 12,000 marker for the golden Archboss weapon selection chest. So it's not impossible. You're just gonna need to sell a lot of your high-end crystals or your high-end gems to be able to get to that 434 million to be able to spend it on yourself. That is the math that I did. It might be slightly off, but I think this gives a good general idea of what they are actually expecting of us. And then we come to the point where we say, okay, how can we spend money on ourselves? Well, Mini came up with a brilliant idea there. You go to your rune book, guys, you implement anything in your rune book, and then you basically click away this one and you say, I want to change the rune. And you can change rune at 677,000, guys. So change the rune, there we go. 1,300,000 spent. And this is how basically the fastest way in the game right now, as Minnie told me and as I can see it, that you can actually spend your millions. And you're gonna need to spend 444 million, guys. Now, how can you get a lot of coins? Well, thing, if I really need money, then let's quickly go to my vault and I'll show you what I actually sell. So I will be selling these. You can see here, 1 precious emerald, 288, right? So I got a bunch of these. The yellows are gonna keep, the reds are always, I'm always out of reds. And you can see that I have 1,350 of these, so I can make a lot more of these. And if I now would go to a vendor and I would say sell, and I can do this, max amount, that's already 90 million, right? That I'm spending here. If I click my green ones, that's 161 million. So there we go. So that's how you can get on a lot of money. But that means you need to have a lot of stones to be able to sell, guys. But yeah, 440. I think I had like 70 million yesterday. So I was at 17 million now. So I already spent 50 million doing just this. Just switching up my rune book, guys. And I'm gonna need to switch up around. I did the calculations for myself. I'm gonna need to spend between 500 and 600 million to actually get to the 12,000 mark at the end of the event. That's how much I'm gonna need to spend. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap up this episode here, guys. Like I said, there were a lot of questions about this event, how it worked, why there was no NPC that you needed to like trade in your stones, and like there were a lot of questions. Even me, I had a lot of questions, and developers noticed this and they kind of made a page dedicated to this so everybody could learn what and how they needed to do it. Guys, if you want to get to the 12,000 and have a chance on those golden Archboss weapon chests, then you're gonna need to get busy. You're gonna really need to get busy. Or you need to be loaded and you don't need to do any event, and you can just basically 120,000, 12,000 divided by 80 and then times 5 million. That's how much you're gonna need to spend if you can't do any bosses, anything at all, but just want to spend money on yourself. Anyway, like I said, I'm gonna wrap up this episode here, guys. If you want to see more of my Let's Play or any content that I might release here in Game of Liberty, I wanted to say Throne of Liberty, or any other game that I might be playing on my channel, guys, just hit that subscribe button. It would always help out a lot. I do hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.